Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Alexis Sanchez has come out and said that he wanted to leave Manchester United after his first training session, and he did say that he wanted to return to Arsenal. So Sanchez has slammed Manchester United. Now obviously we got Alexis Sanchez back in January 2018 as part of a swap deal of Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal. Now obviously Sanchez didn't exceed expectations at Manchester United, as we all presumed that he would have done. He failed to replicate what he did in his few years with Arsenal. Also failed to replicate what he did at Barcelona when he was younger, when he played under Pep Guardiola's guidance. Sanchez endured 18 months with Manchester United. Obviously he made 45 appearances in all competitions and only managed to score 5 goals. He did still have a contract with Man United until 2022. But we definitely made the right decision by getting rid of him, because I said his wages were having a bad effect on the football club. Sanchez's wages at Man United were like 400 grand a week, potentially rising up to 500 grand a week based on the image rights and the bonuses. Now, obviously, last season, Sanchez was out on loan with Inter Milan. Obviously, we were still paying the vast majority of his wages then. We were still paying him like £300,000 a week, and Inter Milan were paying like the other £100,000 a week. But obviously, quite a few weeks ago, Inter Milan had got Alexis Sanchez permanently. We did let Sanchez go on a free transfer. I'm actually surprised that we didn't demand a fee for him. But Sanchez did sign a 3-year contract with Inter Milan. And Sanchez, did have a bad injury at Inter Milan. Was it last season at some point? He was out for like 3 months. He sustained quite a few injuries when he was a Manchester United player. So that is the breaking news on him. Now I want to delve into some news on Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich. So Thiago has made an admission and he's spoken on his future, and he has refused to comment on transfers to Manchester United or Liverpool. He's basically said, that Bayern is his home and he's happy to stay with Bayern Munich. So he could end up staying at Bayern Munich for this season. Now, don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solsjaer recently held talks with Thiago Alcantara over the possible move to Man United. Also, we are looking to hijack Liverpool's move for the player. Now, for quite a while, Liverpool have been emerged as the favourites to sign him. It did say that Liverpool may only step up their interest if they can offload at least one of their midfielders in this summer transfer window. Bayern Munich have revealed their asking price. They do want around £27 million. Liverpool have said they are not willing to meet that valuation. Thiago Alcantara is available on a 3 next year, because that's when his current contract does expire. But Fabrizio Romano, who is a very reliable Italian journalist, he said that Liverpool are planning to put a new bid in for the player. Now, I'd like Thiago at Manchester United. I think he's endured 7 good seasons with Bayern Munich. He scored 31 goals in 235 games in all competitions. Obviously, he's won like 16 major honours. Bayern Munich did pay €25 million for him from Barcelona back in 2013. And Thiago is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a holding midfielder and an attacking midfielder. And he's definitely got good physical attributes, and I think he's 29 years of age. But I'd still say Thiago at Man United is still a possibility. But if Thiago was to come to the Premier League, I think he would exceed expectations in that. Because obviously he's a now as a player, he's got a good pedigree behind him, reflecting on what he's, won and that at Bayern Munich over the years he's been there. Now, I want to delve into some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Now, the news is on Jadon Sancho is that Manchester United are still looking to sign him. I still think Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is on. Now, it did say from the mainstream media yesterday that Manchester United were set to finalise the salary and the fees of Jadon Sancho's agent before making a bid. Now, it's actually no saying that the agent fees could be a stumbling block, but it shouldn't be a problem. Now, it did recently say that we are not giving up on Jadon Sancho unless he publicly says that he wants to stay with Borussia Dortmund. Throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Because obviously Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million. Dortmund have been looking for like £90 million up front. Obviously, this figure would make Jadon Sancho our most expensive signing and the most expensive English player in history, but we are not willing to meet Dortmund's valuation. I think we set our limit and said we was only willing to pay 60 or 70 million pounds up front and the rest of it with add-ons. But Jadon Sancho was our number one priority target for a while. I think we've been in for him for the last 3 years. But I think Sancho has said quite a few times that he wants to come to Manchester United. I've already outlined the reasons why I want him at the football club is because he's got a good friendship with Rashford. He's got good physical attributes. He's still very, very young and he's predominantly a right winger. And Man United are in search for a right winger. Now, the other week, Sancho to Man United did look dead in the water. Because obviously you had Borussia Dortmund's CEO, sporting director, and another one of their directors saying that Jadon Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund. Now, obviously, around 4 weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that we was going to be signing the player. Because obviously Fabrizio Romano had come out and said that negotiations between Man United and Dortmund were at an advanced stage. And he said that Sancho had agreed personal terms with Man United and he agreed a 5-year contract with the football club. But just after Fabrizio Romano had said this, it said the talks had broken down because of Borussia Dortmund's valuation. Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign him. Obviously, we missed out on that deadline, so obviously Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. Now, Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund, and this is the main explanation why I think he'll do well if he comes to the Premier League. Obviously, he's a former Manchester City player, is Sancho, but obviously never got assured any first-team opportunities, and that's the main explanation why he left. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him. And I still think he has got a contract with Dortmund, is it, until 2022. Borussia Dortmund is the 3rd club in his playing career. Like I said, before he was at Dortmund, he was at City. And before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford for several years. I think he was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Obviously, if we are to sign Sancho, we know that what his shirt number will be. He'll be probably given the number 7 shirt because obviously we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. And, don't get me wrong, in recent weeks, we have been looking at a lot more alternatives to Sancho because there is much cheaper solutions than him. I think he's an exceptional player. I think he's worth from between 70 to 80 million, but I don't think he's worth what Borussia Dortmund are demanding. Dortmund are known as a selling football club. They've let some big names go. They've let a lot of them come to the Premier League. Bamyan left them, Pulisic left them, Ilkay Gundogan left them, Mkhitaryan, Kagawa left them at one point, Robert Lewandowski, Ousmane Dembele left them, Matt Hummels left them. But they've brought some players in recent years. Obviously, they brought Haaland in January. They brought Bellingham in quite a few weeks ago now. They brought the likes of Julian Braun and Thorgan Hazard in recent years. And obviously, they got Emre Can permanently. So I'm not going to fully disregard Sancho coming to Man United because he's still a possibility chance that it could happen. So that's the latest news on that. By the way, Ole Gunnar Solsjaer has given Ed Woodward some transfer advice to sort out the mess that Jose Mourinho created at the football club. Now, Solskjaer has promised Ed Woodward anyway that he will not make the same mistake as what Jose Mourinho made. Obviously, Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United. Obviously, he won the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at the club. I think Mourinho spent, was it 400 million or just under 400 million pounds on 11 players. But the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board. The board weren't backing the signings he wanted to make. Mourinho made it clear to our board in the summer of 2018 that he wanted a centre-half. Obviously, the board were not backing him. And he had bad disputes with our top players, did Jose Mourinho. So this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said. But like I said to you, Solskjaer does deserve to be backed in this summer transfer window because I think that Solskjaer is progressing as Manchester United manager. He really, really is. And he publicly admitted, didn't he, not too long ago, that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool and possibly Chelsea. This is what he had said. But this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But I did say, didn't I, before that Man United were beginning to lose patience with the board. We have been critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years. Obviously, there's main explanations behind it. Reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been for several years. And obviously, we've overpaid for players in recent years. That's another one. But Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been with us since 2005. But Woodward said quite a few times that he's determined to back Solskjaer and assured that his job is safe. And the Glazers said they're also determined to back Solskjaer, didn't they? But we know that obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to change the culture of the club. He's looking to bring the right players in at Manchester United. He confirmed his transfer policy earlier on in his managerial career and said he wants to recruit young British talents to the football club. But there's two key areas where Man United are lacking. Obviously, we need a right winger. We need a centre-half, despite the fact that we have got 7 centre-halves in the team. And we're also in search for a left-back. Obviously, we have got our first signing in this summer transfer window, and that's obviously Donny van der Beek from Ajax. And he's a very, very good signing. But Solskjaer has said that he wants to make 3 more signings now after Donny van der Beek. Obviously, Dayot Upamecano, he's been on our agenda recently. Obviously, Sergio Reguilon from Real Madrid, he's also been on our agenda. It recently said that we'd put a £27 million bid in for him. He's valued in the £20 million range. Jack Grealish, he still remains on our agenda. So, there's so many players on our agenda. But at the end of last season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer outlined his transfer plans at the football club. But Solskjaer's got big decisions to make at Man United. He really, really has. Obviously, he's got to decide on the other players he's going to bring in. He's also got to decide on what players he's going to get rid of in this summer transfer window. So we need to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings. I think we could get rid of at least 8 players in this summer transfer window. We're looking to get rid of the likes of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Smalling. Smalling's close to leaving, by the way. Roma, I think, have put a bid in of around 18 million plus add-ons included. So he's set to join Roma on a permanent basis. There was talk saying that he's going to go to Roma on loan for another season, and it's going to include the obligation to buy for around 11 or 12 million. But yeah, Rojo will look to get rid of him. Last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes. Diego Dalot were also looking to get rid of him because I don't think he's good enough to represent Manchester United. Obviously, there's been rumours of Fred leaving the football club. Fred's found game time difficult since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes, and he's going to find game time even more difficult now that Donny van de Beek has come in. It says Galatasaray have inquired about getting Fred on loan. Roma have recently expressed their interest. And as you all know, Sergio Romero, he's open to leaving the football club, and it does mention that Aston Villa are interested. Solsjaer has got a goalkeeping decision to make, because he did say during our Europa League campaign that he's facing a goalkeeping dilemma. I think Solskjaer must put Dean Henderson as number one for this season, because like I've said to you already, I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper, because he has now got that experience behind him. Don't forget, Dean Henderson recently signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United with an option of a further year, and it's worth around 120 grand a week. Dean Henderson has actually threatened to leave the club if he isn't assured to be number one this season. Solskjaer did recently say though that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become number one, and he wants De Gea to remain number one for at least this season. De Gea has been our number one for several years, but I just think now David De Gea is too much of a liability to remain our number one, because De Gea has been inconsistent in the last couple of years, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. This season will be David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. But he's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been with us. De Gea has made 405 appearances for Man United in all competitions. 300 odd of those appearances have come in the Premier League. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, and he's won individual awards. We paid just over £18 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. When De Gea does leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. That's what I think. I'm very sceptical that we'll sell him in this summer transfer window. But like I said, this season is the big test for Solskjaer, because obviously this season is his second full season at the football club. And he knows that he's going to have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. As it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in Premier League history, because we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier Leagues. And we'll be expected to win a trophy this season, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer, and we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in 30 or is it 31 years. You saw one of my other videos I recently did. I went through with you how Manchester United can win the title under Solskjaer, and that is obviously making at least 5 signings in this summer transfer window. Obviously getting rid of more players like I've already mentioned. It's also important that we keep our imperative players at the football club. Keep a fully fit squad. But it's a long rebuilding process, isn't it? So it is a long rebuilding process. But last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season as Manchester United manager, and to be honest with you, he did quite well. Exceeded most of his expectations, obviously got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, and I did say how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. We also finished 3rd. But the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, and at that point, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. But this season if everything was to go wrong, then Solskjaer will be back under pressure again. If it was to go well this season, then United fans will then start to believe that Solskjaer's the right manager and he's the foreseeable future for the club. But this season will tell the story. But like I said, it's a transition period for Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. We know that improvements are still needed. Like I said, Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making. I think there's aspects of our game that have still got to improve. I think there's still certain players that have got to improve. So definitely still improvements needed. But I have seen improvements under Solskjaer, don't get me wrong, I really have. I think our recruitment has improved under him. I think he promoted the youth very well last season. Our record against the top 6 sides last season was very good. You know, we've extended a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer came in. Some players did deserve new contracts, and some players, we shouldn't have given new contracts to. And he's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he came in. We've seen a lot of players leave since Solskjaer came into the club. We've seen, a few big names leave. Lukaku left last summer for Inter Milan. Sanchez left. He went to Inter Milan. Ander Herrera left last summer. He went to PSG. Fellaini left in January 2019. Darmian left last summer. Ashley Young left in January. He went to Inter Milan. Valencia left last summer. Smalling Rojo went out on loan, but obviously now they're back at the moment. Tahith Chong a few weeks ago, he went out on loan to Werder Bremen. I think we've also loaned a few other youngsters out. I think we loaned Dylan Levitt out, James Garner and Joe Pereira. Angel Gomez, don't forget, he also left the football club. So yeah. But like I said to you, Solskjaer has spent so far just over £200 million is it, at Manchester United. Obviously, last summer got Daniel James in, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And obviously, in January we got Bruno Fernandes and Odi Nagalo. We got Odi Nagalo on loan. Just after lockdown, I think we extended Odi Nagalo's loan until January 2021. We've got a decision to make on Nagalo, what's going to be happening with him. Are we going to let him go after his loan expires, or are we going to enter negotiations over possibly getting him permanently? We got Odi Nagalo on deadline day in January, didn't we? As a cover-up to Marcus Rashford. Obviously, we've just recently brought Donny van de Beek, and also too, Solskjaer's brought a few academy players in, so that's also a positive. It really is. But with the news regarding Donny van de Beek, that was really the first piece of good news for Manchester United in this summer transfer window, because obviously everything was going wrong. We had the incident with Harry Maguire recently. Brandon Williams, he recently got injured. Don't forget Wan-Bissaka, it said he was set to miss the start of pre-season training. Paul Pogba, he recently got tested positive for coronavirus. I think we need to anyway get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the club to end the uncertainty over his future. And Marcus Rashford, he recently sustained an ankle injury. Now he's a doubt for England's games against Iceland and Denmark. And to be honest with you, it took us a while to get our first signing on the board. The summer transfer window's been open for over 5 weeks now. There's teams that have done very good recruitment. Chelsea, they've been exceptional so far. They've brought players like Ziyech, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Malang Sarr, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell. Now obviously they're trying to get Declan Rice. Obviously, Liverpool, they recently signed Tsitsipas from Olympiacos. Tottenham, they've brought a few players in there. Got Doherty recently. They got Joe Hart, and they also got Joe Hart, Doherty, and they got Holberg. That's it. Nearly forgot then. Man City, they signed obviously Ferran Torres from Valencia and Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Now I think they are trying to get Lionel Messi at Man City. Arsenal, they recently signed Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille, and they got Willian on a free. Leeds have also made some signings. But yeah. But I think Man United in this summer transfer window will make at least one more sign. I don't think Donny van der Beek's going to be on. Is going to be on the signing we're going to make. I think we're going to make at least one more. But if we can make another 2 more signings, I probably will be happy, because I said, in this summer transfer window we do need at least 3 signings. That's what I said, didn't I? But anyway, like I said, Tino, Solsjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era, isn't he? And I said, even if when it went wrong under Solskjaer, I said, didn't I, don't sack him. I was very critical of him. I said we should sack him, but another part of me thought no, because we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was obviously David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've recruited a good 32, 33 players in since the Ferguson era. Obviously, a lot of the players we've brought in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. We brought Fellaini in under Moyes, wasn't good, but was good at Everton. Obviously, we brought Mata in under Moyes. He's still here now, Mata. I think he's a very, very good player, Juan Mata. Obviously, he doesn't get in the team now a lot, though. I think he'll be here for this season, and he may go after this season, Mata. Obviously, under Van Gaal, he brought around 16 players in. He brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria. Thought Di Maria was good. Sebastian Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin weren't. Falcao, he was a flop. Depay never really got his chances, so can't really have a perception. Rojo, being a flop at Man United mainly, had a few injuries as well. Martial, Shaw, they're still here. They've been very, very good, to be fair, haven't they? Daley Blind, Herrera, he was good. I don't think we should have got rid of him. And obviously we got Romero on a free under Louis van Gaal. And obviously, Jose Mourinho, he brought 11 players into the football club. And, like I said, Mourinho brought Lukaku in, should have kept him. He brought Sanchez in. Did it right decision getting rid of him. But we made the mistake by bringing him in now. Well, yeah. Mkhitaryan, we also brought him in under Mourinho, brought Pogba in, brought Matic in, brought Fred in, brought Lindelof in, brought Bay in, brought Delo in, brought Lee Grant in, brought Ibrahimovic in. So Mourinho brought a lot of players into the football club. So there you go. So that's everything to update you today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.